Dude, let me tell you another story of a crazy transformation in that sense, right?
Okay.
There was this guy, okay? He's big, famous. A lot of people liked him. He was controversial, sure. He was an extra on this little movie.
Okay.
Jake's favorite movie.
What's my favorite movie?
Home Alone.
Oh, yeah. Oh.
He was on Home Alone.
Oh,
People ate it up.
Oh, no.
Fast forward a couple years, causes an insurrection at the Capitol building.
Disturbing the peace with some peace of mind. Sleeping in jeans, I'ma need a night. OD on the cheap advice. OC on the cheapest flight. Lately I've been on the move trying to get to something. But I told her I've been running just to see the sights.
Wow, we're in person.
Yeah. It feels so
I guess
good.
it hasn't been that long. Only 2 episodes ago we were in person.
Oh, yeah. That's true. It feels longer, I guess.
Any time away from you feels like a lifetime.
No kidding. Dude, and I could not feel...
You've lived a lifetime between last time I saw you and now.
That's what I was about to say. Is like from last week, going from basically having nothing to say at all. This week, I feel like I'm just bursting at the seams of things to talk about.
I have so many questions.
Yeah, so I'm glad that's not the case anymore. Like, you got here 10 minutes ago, and I've had to hold back not talking about 100 things already.
I bet. Where do you want to start? You're the one with all the action that's transpired.
That's true. I mean, do you want to share any van updates?
Dude,
that has to be why you're here, right?
Oh my God. No, it's not why I'm here.
Oh, okay.
That's not. Yeah, my van is not at the shop. I'm just here on my own fruition.
Ooh.
Oh. No, my van is not running great. It has this horrible rattling sound now when I idle.
Oh no.
And then when I was driving over here, I think it's just because my van is super packed full of stuff, but I got to the top of this big mountain pass and I was like, something smells not good. So I got out, smelled the wheel well, smelled like something was burning, opened the engine bay and a bunch of smoke came out. But then it went away.
Oh, good.
Okay.
Oh, it's
and
fine,
then I posted on the Facebook group and explained the whole thing and people were like, yeah, you probably just overdid it with the weight and I don't know. Yeah.
Okay.
So there's more
probably
details than
fine.
that. There's more details than that, but they're
Yeah.
boring. So yeah, the van is in. I feel like it's the calm before the storm.
Haven't you been in the storm this whole time?
Yeah, but it's kind of been the eye of the storm. Like you're in
okay.
it, but it's not like the bad part yet. That's sort of how I
Gotcha.
feel. I was really worried I blew a head gasket, but I learned how to do a bunch of tests and found out I haven't blown
good.
a head gasket. So
Okay.
yeah, so that's good.
Nice.
So that's the van update.
Dude, I have a brief update.
Whoa.
Just in that, I think a while back we were talking about like what we would do if AI takes over all jobs, and
Yeah.
you know, I think I found my calling today.
Really?
Yeah.
Let's hear it.
So I had to get, well, I didn't have to. I got tree trimmers to come over today. And I've never seen cooler people in my entire life. Like, your entire job is to just climb trees and cut shit off.
Dude,
It's
let's
the
go.
dream job.
Dude, I actually know I know a guy that he actually just stopped working for the company, but I know a guy that listens to the podcast that had that
Really?
job. Yeah, and he loved it.
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was just like a bunch of tatted, bearded dudes with chainsaws climbing my
I
trees.
can see you doing
So-
that for sure.
And I was just like watching them. I was like, I've been doing it all wrong. This is the life.
Yeah, well, this is almost a Jake Frew cliche at this point, but if you're standing next to Jake and there's anything near you within like 15 feet circumference, Jake will walk over to it and stand on it.
Whoa, I didn't realize you even knew that about me.
Oh, yeah, dude.
Yeah.
If you're like standing on the street and there's a sidewalk
Yeah.
and everyone's down on the street, you'll be the guy up on the sidewalk. If there's like a
anything.
box or something,
Yeah.
you walk over and stand on it.
Anything you can stand on and look
Yeah.
at life from a new perspective. I'm all
So
about.
the tree climbing job would be right up your.
Mhm.
It would be a. Hold on. It would be something that you could branch out to.
Man, and I was just about to say it's
You could log some hours.
Yeah, I'm thinking about turning a new leaf and quitting the video thing.
All right. We're off to a banging start so far.
So, yeah, that's the dream job. If
Well, it's
I
probably hard
disappear
'cause
from the internet.
I was going to say it's probably hard because right now you feel, I'm sure, just with everything you got going on, the YouTube channel's doing well, Dial's going well, so you probably feel pretty rooted right now.
Oh man, somehow I didn't see that one. Yeah, and I was gonna say that it's like perfectly AI proof, but then I just realized that's the ideal robot job.
Yeah, it kind of
Just
is.
Set
Just
or
like
extendo robot.
yeah. Yeah, that's true.
But
Extendo bot.
but hey, I'm not counting on that. Oh, I think I snotted on my microphone from your rooted joke.
We'll tone back the puns on this episode.
Thanks to you for the last 2 weeks straight, I've just been obliterated with Arc'teryx ads. Like everywhere I go is Arc'teryx
I just
ads.
ordered another hat. I ordered
Did you
another
really?
Arc'teryx
A
hat.
beanie?
Yeah, it's supposed to get here before I leave, so.
Well, I got one of the ads that I just keep getting served over and over. Just beautifully, perfectly encapsulates the brand of Arc'teryx.
Oh, tell me all about it.
Because it starts off with just like your classic dirtbag climber guy in his van, probably in Squamish somewhere, and he like looks out the window and he's like, "Oh, there's some crispy ones out there today, boys." And it's like perfect dirtbag climber. But then it goes to the most corporate, sterile voiceover of all time. And the narrator's just like, oh God, what does she say? She's like, "Gear for those looking to get outside and not afraid to get a little dirty. Built for adventure," or like something like that. Just the most sterile. She literally says like gear built for those not afraid to get a little messy.
Oh, no.
It's just like so sterile. So to me, it's just the most perfect picture of Arc'teryx, where it's
Yeah.
like this cool lifestyle, but then your products are just the most like tech bro sterile stuff imaginable.
Shoot, that's kind of hard to argue with. Sometimes I don't really know why brands like that do ads, because it's like,
Yeah, it already
you're
has.
not going to change anyone's mind.
Right.
But Arc'teryx is just is, you know, same with
yeah.
Patagonia. It's like, I don't
I'm
know,
sure
but they're all excited to toot their own horn whenever they can.
Yeah.
Like donating their company to the planet, which actually just means making a trust fund for their
For your
kids.
kids, yeah. What's his name? Patagonia man?
Yvon Chouinard.
Yeah.
He's I got some thoughts about that guy.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, well, I mean, that whole just like donating the company to the planet thing was such a scam.
Yeah. And a brilliant scam, because, yeah, you first hear the headline and everyone's like, "Oh, my God, that's so cool."
Yeah.
Like, he's saving the world.
I just felt like I was going crazy when that whole thing was unfolding, because I was like, is nobody curious what that means?
Yeah.
That is the most arbitrary thing to say. We're donating the company to the planet. Like, all right. I hope the planet has a good savings account and they have a good
right.
business operational structure.
Yeah. And also, I still don't understand that much about it, but all it screams is there has to be a tax loophole here.
Yeah. And that's what it is. I forget the guy's name. What's the guy? Adam Ruins Everything. Made
Adam
an
Conover,
incredible video about it that'll change your mind about it. And I was so glad that video came out, because I was like, it's not what it seems.
I think it's called "There Are No Good Billionaires."
Yeah, I
something
think
like
so.
that.
I think so.
Yeah, he did a
Yeah.
really good job breaking it down.
So I'm sure, I don't know. Anyway, Arc'teryx,
Yeah.
best company ever.
Yeah, but as far as why they do ads, I feel like those ads are just to push you over the limit. Because I've never seen an Arc'teryx ad until I had Googled it a couple times and we had talked about it a couple times.
It's weird because I don't think I've ever gotten one.
Yeah. So.
But they already know I'm on the train.
Yeah, I guess so. They scoped me out as a potential buyer.
The new beanie I ordered is so, like, not inconspicuous. It is like it's the most outwardly Arc'teryx branded thing that they make.
Dude, to me, Spider. I'm sure you don't like the brand Spider.
Yeah. You got me there.
I know. Trust me.
Okay.
Because this is how everything goes with you and I. If you think something's cool, give me like another 4 weeks. I'll think it's the sickest thing ever.
Oh, dude, that is mutual. I walked in the door today, saw Jake for the first time in 2 weeks, and within 10 minutes, I'd spent $40 on fingerboard things.
We were talking about fingerboard things as soon as he walks in the door. And yeah, literally 10 minutes later, I see him pulling his credit card out of his wallet and typing it in.
I swear to God, you are not good for me. It's bad because we're only just getting to the point where we're going to really be spending time together here.
Yeah. And it happened last year where we spend so much time waiting and sitting while we're filming our Dialed project over the summer that all of that sitting waiting time, you just want dopamine. So we inevitably start looking at products and sharing stuff.
I have ordered the dumbest stuff through the summer. Yeah. Just sitting in there was one point when I ordered like a bunch of old Zero hoodies, Zero skateboards hoodies, and then I canceled it because I was like, what am I doing? I don't need to order 3 Zero hoodies.
Yeah, I almost did the exact same thing.
Because you and I were like, Zero's really cool. Zero's like an OG skate brand. Like that one board with the skull on it is like all time.
Yeah, and you have nothing else to talk about. You've exhausted everything else, and then you want that little dopamine rush of just buying stuff.
Oh, we're doomed, dude. It's going to be so interesting to see the people we evolve into by the end of this year.
I know.
Because it's not going to be the same.
Yeah. But that's why I brought up Spider is because to me right now, Arc'teryx and Spider are just like the equivalent. I see them as the same, but give me some time. I'm sure I'll come around.
I'll win you over. Wait till you see my new hat.
Yeah.
All right, I got a question for you since you're lollygagging around and you're trying to beat around the bush.
All right.
You have to answer this question honestly. You're not going to want to.
Oh, man.
How was Danny Gevirtz movie 1 out of 10? And I'm saying your entire position and relationship with the guy out the window. Most critical Jake. I want the honest answer.
Critical Jake.
Because you know what? I don't think Danny would want you to patronize him.
Yeah.
I think he would want you to give your honest opinion.
Yeah.
1 out of 10.
Totally.
Oh, also, really quick while you think about it, for the people who don't know, Danny Gevirtz, filmmaking YouTuber who is kind of the first of all of those types of people to actually go and make a full-length movie with actors, and it's written, and there's a script.
Yeah.
And
we're in this corner of YouTube that calls themselves filmmaking YouTube.
And none of them have made films. Or at least,
at least that I know of. Yeah. And he did it. Paved the way to actually make a film, which is so sick. I mean, and I'm not giving enough credit to that world. I know a lot of people in that world have worked on sets and come from traditional filmmaking, like Potato Jet and those guys, the SoCal guys. I know there's plenty of people that have film experience.
Yeah, but writing and directing.
Yeah, once you get into filmmaking YouTube, you kind of just make videos about making videos on YouTube. So it's so sick that Danny just he formed this whole new mold where that I really want to move towards on my channel, where you're just making short films, breaking it down, making short films. Your YouTube channel is basically just a platform to make short films. Yeah. And now films.
Well, towards everyone else in the genre, no tea, no shade, no pink lemonade. It is what it is. You make what you can, you work within your means, but this didn't feel like working within your means. This just felt like deciding to work way outside your means and just take a huge risk. Yeah. So he took a huge risk. He did it. He made a movie. All the respect in the world to him, but I want to know, is it any good? Okay. It's really good. Really? It's stupid good. So I've always loved indie films and going to the indie film theater. Yeah. Here in Denver, there's one that just plays, 2 different movies that are tiny. And you always kind of know you're watching
an indie
Right.
film.
Right.
And so that, I think that feeling's usually very prevalent the whole time. You're like, oh, this is cool. It's definitely indie, but it's cool.
Right.
Danny's movie, I did not feel that except maybe like one or two tiny moments.
Wow.
The rest of the moments were just like,
Yeah.
I was wrapped in it. Just
wow.
like, which, yeah, it was unreal. Like I went into it with the mindset of like, be ready to watch a movie that's clearly like indie, low budget, first film ever.
Right.
And it did not feel that way.
Wow.
It was crazy.
That's
dude.
amazing.
Yeah.
That's really cool. I'm glad to hear that.
Man. Yeah. I mean, such like massive props to that dude because he took a huge risk, did a huge thing, and it's phenomenal.
That's awesome.
It's crazy.
Let's go. Go, Danny.
So,
well, now that's great because I don't have to see it.
Yeah,
I
perfect.
can just know in my
now
heart
you can,
that it's a really good movie. Right up there with Beau is Afraid.
Yeah, you still haven't seen that.
God, no.
Perfect. So don't bother watching it. You'll just ruin it.
Well, I'll wait till it's on Blu-ray.
It's too long, dude. You wouldn't even make it through.
I'm not going to lie. I would have seen it already if it wasn't 3
really?
hours. Yeah. 3 hours is a lot of my life.
It feels long, unfortunately.
There's not a lot that I would willingly give 3 hours up for. That's not someone I personally know. It just unless it's like for work or someone I know, I'm not gonna give anyone 3 hours. Generally speaking, so that's just the way it is.
Dang.
And somehow Guardians of the Galaxy got me.
Was it long?
I think it was like 2:45 or something. Yeah.
Man.
But I was with my people. I was with people.
Yeah.
I haven't had an opportunity to go see it with anyone because someone didn't invite me. Actually, no, you
well,
did
I
invite
invited
me.
you. I invited you
No, you did,
long time ago to Beau's
Never mind.
Afraid, but yeah.
Anyway,
tell
me about. Oh, what were you gonna say?
Oh, well, I was just gonna say, last notes on Danny's premiere it was also sick because it was the first time I've been able to just see a movie and then immediately afterwards talk to like the crew and the lead actors and the director. Cool. Like it was really, really cool, especially because it felt like I just watched a straight up any other movie I would have gone to a theater to see and then just go to a bar afterwards and get to talk to everyone about the movie that they were in or made. So
dude,
that made awesome. That made it extra special for sure.
So would you say that it made you feel like you want to make a movie or like you never want to make a movie?
Man,
did it feel like something? Well, I'll answer that first. I have another question.
Yeah, I think both because it was just like extremely inspiring to see this phenomenal film that we've kind of followed along with on YouTube. So it definitely got me stoked to just be like, man, I could do this. But then it also felt like, oh man, this is so much work. Totally. Like just getting to hear, there was a Q&A afterwards and just getting to hear a little tiny bit of the headache and struggle of making it. Like you can tell it just takes it all out of you.
For real. Well, it's an amazing thing to think about because in my head, one of the biggest hurdles is writing it and knowing when it's good enough to start production. I feel like that to me makes the least amount of sense. It's like, when is it the final draft? When are you like, okay, this is all the dialogue exactly how I want it, blah, blah, blah. And then to just be like, okay, this is exactly how I want it. And then to jump into production, it's like you get done with the hardest thing and then go right into starting something harder.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah, that's so true. And someone asked a question in line with that at the Q&A just about like, how many drafts did you have for the script? And he was like, I lost count in the hundreds. Like it was hundreds and hundreds of revisions.
Yeah.
Which I guess makes sense. And that's what I'm trying to do on a personal level is just have way more of a plan before I start the project.
Yeah, you and me both.
Yeah.
That's not our strong suit.
I know. Yeah. But yeah, I think you're right. Like you just try to get it as perfect as you can. And it sounds like they still had to make a ton of changes on the fly because you just got to roll with whatever problems you run into along the way. So
that's amazing,
man. It'd be sick to get to talk to him about it sometime.
If only we had the ability to talk to him.
If only we had a connection.
If only we knew someone that knew him.
Hey, we'll just put it out into the universe for now. It'd be sick to get to interview him about it.
Yeah, that would be awesome. Well, do you think you could have written it? I mean, obviously it was like his own thing, blah, blah. That's a bad way to ask that question. Did it intimidate you as far as the storytelling is concerned? Like, could I write something?
Man, it definitely...
Basically what I'm asking is, was there a twist ending?
I think I kind of get what you're asking, or maybe I don't, but I'm just going to answer like this.
Sure.
There was so many moments watching it where I was just like, that's brilliant. That's such a smart moment.
Yeah.
I never would have thought of that, you know?
Yeah.
Like there's just so many smart things and...
It's such a good movie. There's so many smart things.
And I'm not smart. But I think, I guess I don't, my train of thought completely died.
It's kind of a hard dead end question a little bit.
It really was just like, watching something that's like, I don't know how I could ever think of that.
Right.
Or write that. But hopefully with enough time and enough like focus on the same thing.
Right.
Rather than what I'm used to, which is jumping from thing to thing constantly.
Yeah.
Hopefully that focus leads to more smartness.
Yeah, exactly.
But I don't know.
That's a good answer. I feel like
idea.
you answered exactly what I was trying to ask, because my experience when I'm watching a movie I really like is usually, I would never have thought of that. I would never, ever, ever have gotten to that sort of like landing place. And that is like so intimidating.
Yeah, intimidating. And it also was really encouraging for that same reason, because it was like, technically watching it, it was beautiful, well shot, like basically looks like a movie, which sounds so dumb, but it felt like a movie. But at the same time, there was nothing that was... There obviously wasn't VFX. There wasn't insane like stunts or anything like that.
Was there magic?
There's no magic.
That's incredible.
You would have loved it.
Yeah, that's incredible.
But yeah, so in that sense, it felt very attainable.
Yeah.
Because it was low budget, so the way it was shot was attainable. But it was really encouraging to see just how good of a movie it was, just because of the writing and the way it was cut, you know?
Sweet.
Like that's really
the
sick.
best I could have heard about it. I mean, really, that's amazing.
Yeah, dude.
So sounds like it gets a smart stuff out of 10.
Yep. Smart stuff out of 10.
Let's go, Danny. Congratulations.
Good work, Danny.
Come on the pod if you want to blow up.
Come on the pod. If you want 20 people to hear about what I think about your movie, join us on Friends with Benedicts.
Hop on, brother. That's great.
Yeah. So
what else you got in your notes there?
I got a bunch of random ideas in the notes.
Is there anything else you want to talk about your last couple weeks? Because you've lived a lifetime.
Man, yeah.
You stayed in Hawaii when I left.
I stayed in Hawaii.
You saw my little sister in Hawaii while I was thousands of miles away.
Yeah. Got to go boogie boarding some more.
Nice. I saw she smashed her face on a rock or something.
Oh, yeah. I thought that happened while you were there, but yeah.
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 Good.
So that was cool.
Love to hear that.
I didn't get a tattoo, which I was disappointed in because it was supposed to happen and it didn't.
Dang, Isaac. Thanks.
Thanks, Isaac.
Shout out to Isaac for not doing the one thing.
The only reason I went to Hawaii.
I was trying to remember. We played a card game with Jake's friend Isaac, and it was one of the most fun things ever.
Yeah.
We were in Hawaii, like by the beach. There's palm trees, there's big cliffs, there's mountains and everything. And the stupid card game was as fun as any of it.
Dude, yeah.
I was trying to teach my mom, and I totally forgot how to play. So,
oh, man.
Oh, yeah. I want to take a little quick sidebar and say my parents and my family, it's taken them a while to find out that we do this podcast because I've been hiding it from them like as well as I can.
I try to hide it from people I know too.
Yeah, well, the secret's out, and my mom was like, she's like, just tell me how to look it up. I was like, well, you go to youtube.com and you type in Friends with Benedicts. And her reaction, she was truly like, no. And I was like, yep, that's what it's called. And she's like, no, it's not. You did not call it that. And I was like, we did. And then she did not believe me. I had to pull out my phone and look it up on YouTube. And I was like, look.
Oh, no.
She was like, why did you call it that? And I was like, you got to listen and find out, fully knowing that.
Yeah, that it
no
has
one
zero
knows.
connection or meaning whatsoever. Oh, man.
So that was a funny moment.
Doesn't get the mom stamp of approval.
No, unfortunately. Sorry, Mom. I let you down.
Yeah. Which
I know I didn't let her down. She'd be sad if I said that.
yeah, she's endlessly proud of you, dude. I just know it.
Yeah, she is. Right, Mom?
I was going to mention a quick little housekeeping thing sooner. You and I leave in a week for our big summer of client work, mountain bike stuff.
Summer of Love is what we've called it.
Yeah, Summer of Love. So that being said, we'll finally actually have breakfast around the world like this podcast was kind of named after. But it also means we don't really know what the consistency or uploading is going to be like. We really want to stay consistent, but we just don't know what that's going to be like until we're out there trying to do it. So
yeah,
I don't know.
So there you go.
So thanks for those of you that come around every single week.
Yeah,
and
we're gonna try our best.
We're gonna try to stay consistent, but who knows?
Yeah, if you, never mind. I don't have anything to say about that.
Oh, but speaking of traveling and staying in hotels for the next
rest of our lives,
this is kind of an old story at this point.
Uh-huh.
But I don't know if you heard it or not. Did you hear the story about this dude in Nashville was staying in a hotel?
Okay.
I think he was a guy in the Air Force, which that doesn't matter, but it was a guy staying in a hotel room in Nashville.
Air Force, got it.
Air Force guy wakes up in the middle of the night to a guy sucking on his toes. Did you hear this story?
No!
Dude.
No!
Yeah.
Why? Where?
It was literally a manager of the hotel snuck into the guy's room, which turns out earlier in that day he was fixing the TV in that room.
No.
Fully just like scoping the guy, I
guy's
guess.
toes.
And the guy woke up in the middle of the night to this hotel
specs
manager
on his digits,
sucking his toes.
No.
And the guy was just like, "What are you doing?" And first of all, I don't know what that hotel manager was expecting the end game to be. Like, did he think he wouldn't wake up, or did he think he would? Or did he think that was
just sort of like standard procedure?
Yeah. And so anyway, I think police got called and the hotel manager denied it, but it's pretty like damning evidence against him from what I'm hearing. All that said, it kind of just unlocked so many fears for me for our summer of endless hotels.
Sorry, I'm sorry, I have to say this. It's probably because he was a pedophile. Sorry,
well done,
I'm sorry.
Well
it was
done.
sitting right there. That kind of actually reminds me of that time we were in, God knows where we were.
Quebec.
Tell that story.
If it's the story I'm thinking.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why it unlocked the fear for me, because we were in Quebec after just like a brutal long day of travel.
And the ride to the airport, we thought we were getting kidnapped.
Yeah. It was the most hectic. Like, there's no Uber. We have massive bike bags and suitcases, so it was really hard to get a taxi that could compensate all of our luggage. To where, it literally got to the point where some guy was just waving down his buddies off the street to get people to take our bags. And I thought for sure they were stealing our bags and murdering
Yeah,
us.
I thought so too. I was recording the whole thing. I don't have the video anymore because I lost my phone in Hawaii. But
and it's Quebec, so no one speaks English. It was just French.
Yeah.
So we really didn't know what was going on.
Yeah. Well, it was weird too because I remember we got out to where the pickups are, and this guy was like, "No Ubers," and we were like, "What do you mean no Ubers, dude?
Yeah.
Like, get a life." And so we're trying to get an Uber or a taxi or anything, and there's
Yeah.
not enough space and all this. And then finally we're like, "Oh man, there's only one guy for the job, and that's this guy who says no Ubers." And so we got in his car along with, and our bags were in a different car,
Mm-hmm.
and drove to probably the sketchiest hotel.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So that was the point of the story is like long day travel. We get to the hotel, get our key cards, and I go to my hotel room and open the door, and the door stops because the little chain lock is on it. And I hear a bunch of rustling from inside the hotel room, like someone clearly had just woken up. So I was like, oh my God, there's someone in my hotel room. So I go back to the front desk and I was like, hey, I think there's someone in the room you gave me. And he was like, no, that's your room. That's your room. And I was like, well, there's someone in there. And he's like, no, it's fine. And I was like, I'm not going back to that room. And he's like, okay. Do you want me to go check?
Hold my hand, little guy.
I was like, yeah, you can go check. So I stay in the lobby. He walks away and he walks back to me just wide-eyed and goes, there's someone in your room. And so he gave me a different room, and I didn't sleep too great that night because I was like, what if someone comes in my room?
He's gonna come in and suck my toes.
So now not only do I have to worry about some rando getting the key to my room, but I got to worry about a hotel manager coming in and sucking on my toes.
Gosh, how long ago was Toe Suck manager?
I think like 2 weeks ago is when the story broke.
Oh no.
So yeah,
Ugh.
just add that to concerns for the summer, I guess.
Oh, I hate it, dude.
I know.
Well, if there wasn't enough to be concerned about, now we got toe-sucking hotel managers.
I've never really been like, I've never been fascinated by serial killers or, murder mysteries or any of that. Like people have a lot of fascination with serial killers.
Yeah.
Me,
Toe-sucking
not so much.
guy, yeah.
But toe-sucking guy, I want to know what his thought process was.
Yeah.
I really want to know.
There's been a bunch of stuff. I mean, not a bunch of stuff like that, but I've heard stories of hotels built so that people can like walk through the walls and watch people.
Dude, here in Aurora, Colorado.
Yeah, that's right. It was
like
here.
One of the craziest instances of that. Yeah, he built his entire hotel with air ducts big enough for him to crawl through.
Yeah.
And would literally crawl to every room and just watch people for like hours on end. Like,
what is with hotel managers? What did they
know.
go through? I worked at a hotel and my manager was wonderful.
You think?
Which is exactly what I'm saying. I'm like, too wonderful.
Too wonderful. Oh, man. Yeah. Shout out to all the hotel managers out there.
Shout out to hotel managers.
Tell us your secrets.
Yeah. One of the most mysterious people groups on earth. That and the Democratic Republic of Congo. Oh, can I tell a really quick story?
Yes, please.
Okay. A lot of people know the YouTuber Luke Corns. I didn't know who he was. I'm going to make this story short, but basically through a series of events, while hanging out with Nathaniel Drew, I met Luke Corns. And this guy's been all over the world. He's been to like every country ever. And he, I don't know, just a real wild man. And he's seen a lot. So I asked him, I was like, man, you've seen things I can't even imagine. I was like, what's your biggest fear? And we were in Paris on a balcony looking out over the Eiffel Tower, and his eyes glaze over, and he goes, my biggest fear, the Democratic Republic of Congo. And I was like, all right. I've never heard anyone have that as an answer.
It's specific and really vague.
Yeah.
Extremely vague fear.
And I'll never forget that moment. So anyway, that's the end of that
Did he
story.
expand upon it?
Well,
has he been there?
No, but I think he wants to go. So that's the whole thing. I think it's really
okay.
dangerous. I don't know anything about it.
Yeah.
I've never heard of it.
No.
But I think it's where all the hotel managers come from.
Of course.
Yeah.
That's where they're trained.
All right. That's the end of that story.
Nice.
We were like, oh, we got so much to talk about this episode, and now it's all just jumping around in
I
circles
know. I feel
again.
like it's just all these small things because
Yeah.
I got connected back to the Matrix this week. So
Yeah.
there's
Oh, yeah.
all these things like toe sucking guy
Yeah.
and this Arc'teryx ad. Like, there's all these random small things that
You got
came
anything
up.
else? Give me another.
Yeah,
random
I got
small
plenty
thing.
more. We could either talk about a movie that's being shot entirely on the FX3, which is the same camera we both shoot on.
Wow.
We could talk about Jerry Springer, who just passed, but I learned crazy stuff about his.
He died?
Yeah.
Oh, R.I.P. Don't know anything about
R.I.P.
him.
Jerry. I know. I didn't either, but he has a very interesting past. Or we could talk about YouTube videos.
I want to know the FX3 guy.
Yeah.
What movie did he shoot before this? Because
The DP. So, yeah, this will be quick also. This will be another random stop on our journey for today. But Greg Fraser is the DP for the creator. He was the same DP for the Batman.
right.
Which I don't know what other movies he's done, but the Batman was
I remember
phenomenal.
reading an interview over a year ago where he said he wanted to make a movie on the FX3.
Oh, really?
Yep.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
So this was it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't watched the trailer yet. I don't know much about it, but yeah, for anyone that doesn't know camera stuff, it's the camera that me and Shaffer use.
Yeah. It's an expensive camera, but it's not
Yeah. It's expensive. It's a $4,000 camera, which is expensive, obviously, but it's nowhere
in the
near,
realm of cinema cameras.
Yeah.
It's nothing.
It's not even close to what Hollywood movies are shot
like
on.
Arri Alexa Mini LFs are like almost 50
50 grand, yeah.
So.
Yeah. So did you remember from that interview? Did you just want to do it to prove that it could be done?
I think in the interview they were talking about, and it's been a while, but I think they were talking about just the technological progression of the industry and him having sort of the perspective of it's like you really can get away with making amazing stuff on, the cameras that like we shoot on now are better than what some of the most classic movies of all time were shot on, especially in the digital transition. So I think the point was just kind of like, I'm going to do it because I can. I'm a great cinematographer, and it doesn't.
Yeah, just to further dunk on anyone that wants to make excuses.
Yeah, I think it's also, I mean, you and I have talked before about the idea that the constraints you put around yourself will guide the creative output. I don't know for sure, but if I had to wager, I'd say there's probably some level of like, shooting a movie knowing it is going to be like a big budget movie, and then just having this peace of mind that's like, I am shooting on a tiny camera. I can get away with a lot more here. Maybe it's like a creative constraint choice or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
Could be a lot of things.
Yeah, that's true. Well, do you know the title of the movie?
The FX3 movie. FX3 the movie. Sony presents FX3 the movie. No, I
You're
don't.
not that far. It's
Really?
called The Creator. Which I can't hear without thinking content creator.
Yeah. Doesn't it have Joaquin Phoenix in it?
I don't think so.
Oh.
This is classic Friends with Benedicts.
This is
style.
as
I haven't even seen the trailer. You read some random article with Greg
No, I'm
Fraser.
pretty sure some huge actors in it, or it's like
I don't remember. It's like the same director as some Star Wars movie. It's Greg Fraser. I don't really know who's acting in it.
Interesting.
But the brief tidbit I saw looks cool. It's like a space movie.
Oh, okay. 8 out of 10.
Yeah, it's gonna be sick.
Moving on. Love that movie. I'm excited to see more about that because I have that camera, which means I'm that good.
Yeah, seriously.
It's Netflix approved.
Either that or is it?
Have you ever seen? Oh yeah, you don't have Facebook, huh?
No. Well, I do, but
oh yeah, I'm a big join the Facebook group of the thing you buy guy.
Oh yeah.
So like my van that always is broken, I'm in the van Facebook group. My camera, I'm in the FX3 Facebook group. I'm in my Red Komodo Facebook group, and there's so many people in those groups that debate like, why is this camera going to outlive the Canon R5? It's going to go down in history as a camera that changed the industry, blah, 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 blah. And everyone always devolves to, well, it's Netflix approved. And it's a full-on meme in the Facebook groups with any camera group. You just got to look at Netflix approved, because people will bring up for a long time the Blackmagic cameras weren't Netflix approved.
Yeah.
And so people are like, yeah, the image is good, but there's a reason it's not Netflix approved.
Oh my gosh.
And Netflix approved doesn't even mean anything. It only means you can't like you can use any camera's footage on a Netflix show. It just can't be the A cam or something like that. There's all these tech.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So like a lot of documentaries will get away with, they're all shot on.
Oh yeah.
Who knows what?
Random
and,
phone
yeah,
footage
exactly.
in there and stuff.
Yeah. But anyway, just kind of a funny insider thing. People lose their minds about whether or not it's Netflix approved.
Oh man. Well, that might be I've had this idea for a while to talk about. I haven't fully known how to address it. But
You're in a safe space.
Okay. Thanks.
Yeah.
I wanted to talk about red flags. Just like, because obviously everyone talks about red flags in dating.
Yeah.
But I thought it could be fun to talk about red flags in YouTubers or in movies.
I like
or
this. This is
you know
right
what I mean?
up my alley.
Like,
Yeah.
because I was just thinking if that's like a red flag, if someone's only reason for using a camera is that it's Netflix approved or not.
Yeah.
Like that's a pretty big red flag.
Yeah. But I mean, it's a red flag for what? Because like in a relationship, it's a red flag. Like, oh, you shouldn't date them. Right.
Well, yeah, true.
In filmmaking, is like you shouldn't. They're whack. Is it just they're whack?
I guess so. Yeah.
All right.
Like,
one of my red flags, and I've been through all of these.
Yeah.
I feel like one of my red flags now is matte boxes on DSLRs.
Ooh. Okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
Especially matte boxes on photo lenses on DSLRs.
Man, just firing shots at yourself.
I did that all last year. That was my whole thing last year.
Interesting. I was always like pretty secretly jealous of it.
Yeah.
Why has it become a red flag for you?
Because it has absolutely no performance improvements whatsoever to
If anyone doesn't know what a
Polaroid
matte box is, it's just the big square looking cool thing on the front of a camera that makes it look like you're shooting a Hollywood movie.
Yeah, and real matte boxes do have function because you have the flags and everything. The Polar Pro one is supposed to be super lightweight and small and tiny. It's the one I have, and it's super helpful. When I shot something on Zeiss standard speeds this winter, and the lens diameter of those cinema lenses is so big you can't put a screw-on filter on. You have to use a matte box. So in that sense, I was glad I had it because it was super lightweight. You could put a big giant filter in front of the lens. It was awesome. But when you have a 16 to 35 Mark III and you're putting a matte box on it, it's only because you want your camera to look cool. That is the only reason for it.
Yeah.
So that's a red flag for me.
That's a good one. Yeah. There's probably a whole nother river of a whole bunch of forks off that river of just things you do to your camera that make it look cool that don't matter at all.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. As far as I'll just continue firing shots at ourselves.
Yeah, why not?
Because one of my YouTuber red flags is if you have a video that's either why I've been gone or I'm leaving. Massive YouTuber red
we've
flags.
both done that.
We've both made I'm leaving videos. I don't think either of us have made a why I've been gone video.
No.
But to me, they both fall into the exact same
Man, this
camp.
opens so many doors.
I know.
Because the offshoot of that one is the I'm sorry I've been so busy, but I've got big things in the work.
Yeah.
I've got big things in the work.
Those are the most dangerous words on YouTube.
Yeah.
If you make a YouTube video and say, I've got big things in the works, you're asking for that thing to just collapse and implode in front of your eyes.
I've never seen it pan out. I've never been watching someone's channel and they go, I got big things in the works. And then my response as the viewer is, can't wait. Because that's not what you think when someone says that. You go, oh yeah, like, sure. You haven't been able to upload a video in 6 months, and now you're gonna make a movie.
Yeah.
And then it's always just, it just degrades from there for me. It's just like
totally.
No matter how good it is, I'm like, oh, is this the big thing?
Yeah.
Or is this something you're making on the way to the big thing?
Yeah, you're asking for it with that. There was like I don't know, it's some random anecdote, I can't remember. But I was thinking about it because I don't understand why I know it's a ploy every single time that I'm leaving Tidal or the why I've been gone. And I know I'm not going to leave satisfied, but I click it every time.
Every single time.
I don't know why it's so intriguing. Like whatever it is about humanity, I just, even if it's a YouTuber that I've never followed, like I just vaguely barely know something about them.
It's the chaos in your brain that subconsciously wants something horrible to be happening, which is so messed up.
I guess so, because there's also
life finally caught up to him.
Exactly, because there's also a subsect. I don't know the right vocabulary for it. There's a genre on YouTube of people exaggerating an illness to get more clicks, which that gets dark because there's obviously plenty of YouTube videos that is like something tragic, like someone gets cancer, something like that, and they just want to share with the audience what's going on. But apparently there's been incidences of people just exaggerating something with their health that's like, man, such a dangerous game to play.
Man, we are on fragile ground here.
Who, you and I?
Yeah, dude. Well, because like I feel like the most common version of that, and this is like such a I feel like I shouldn't even go here, but I feel like mental health gets thrown around like that, like it means nothing, where it's just like, I'm sorry I have been gone, I've been really having to focus, I've been going through something super serious with my mental health, which I think a lot of times is true, but I think it probably just as often is just justifying an absence. I don't know.
No, I see what you're saying. Yeah, it's impossible to talk about in any general way because everything's case by case, but there's for sure always been an element of like, oh, cool, they're talking about mental health. Oh, the sponsor is BetterHelp. Wait a second.
Exactly.
How real was this then? Or did you just decide to talk about that because you got BetterHelp as the sponsor? Like, it's just, it's weird.
I'm not, I feel the same about BetterHelp that I do about Mr. Beast. I feel like it's a time bomb.
Yeah.
I feel like shit's going to go south.
I think they've already had a lot of like
they did in the past. I remember way back when they started, they didn't have anyone licensed.
Yeah. Dude. This is in the same realm. I just saw this shared on Philip DeFranco's show. There was some TikToker who had a sponsor from like a face lotion company, and the face lotion company wanted to do a mental health ad campaign and talk about how like when your skin feels good you feel good or something. So this girl's sponsored TikTok for face lotion, she talked about the campus shooting that she was on campus for when it happened, and and talked about this face lotion and how it helps her anxiety when she's thinking about the school shooting that she went through. And it was just like the most conflicting thing to watch, because obviously you
world do we live in,
like you feel for her because of what she went through. Like that's horrifying that she even went through that.
And then
but then
you
it's
turn
like,
it into a billboard for lotion.
Face lotion sponsored talking about this. But I don't know.
It's hard to say because it hasn't like specifically happened yet, this instance that I feel is coming, but I feel like something's going to happen to BetterHelp in the next couple of years and it ain't going to be around anymore.
Yeah.
I'm telling you,
dude. And I have so much more grace for that girl than I do for the face lotion company.
Yeah.
Because she's, I don't know, 19. Like the face lotion company is the one who like when they were reviewing that should have been like, I don't know about this.
Also, have you ever just watched a BetterHelp ad and thought, this is the most uncomfortable They're the most uncomfortable ads ever.
I don't know if I've seen ads other than just like creator sponsored.
They're like pre-roll ads on YouTube are like so uncomfortable to watch. Yeah, you can't tell if it's supposed to be funny or not. I don't know. Man. I feel like I gotta have this conversation in 2 years when things have gone down.
Yeah,
say
seriously,
I told you so.
Seriously, let's revisit.
Yeah,
it,
we'll revisit.
Yeah,
I'll tell you one thing. If that ever comes up as an opportunity, like BetterHelp sponsoring a video, the answer from me is a big fat juicy no.
Yeah, definitely, man.
It's way too sacred. People's noggins.
Yeah,
I have no right to sell you anything like that.
Yeah, well, that and like, I just don't think text message therapy is a great idea, and that's just my own personal opinion. But I think like, such a massive good of therapy is getting to talk to someone face to face.
Yeah, I know. I feel like that's my opinion on it too, but I've also never tried it. And I'm sure there's a ton of people out there who it's really been an asset for.
True.
Which is why to me it's so dangerous because
yeah,
it's like if anything goes wrong, it's not just like, oh, you're taking a company away. It's not like McDonald's goes away and you can't get a number 2 combo anymore. It's like you lose access to your therapist.
Yeah, jeez.
It's so scary, dude.
Yeah, that's delicate. I feel like
it's very delicate.
I feel like sponsored videos, anything ad read is already so delicate.
Yeah.
When you just make it about therapy and mental health, it's just that much more.
Well, it's
delicate.
so similar. Like as people start to take mental health more and more seriously, because mental health disorders are the same as diseases, and you can't shill pills on a YouTube video.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? You're not prescribing people doctors. It's like you have a broken leg, you should try, Leg Up.
Yeah, exactly.
The sponsor of today's video.
Man,
it's not a YouTuber's job to prescribe you that type of thing, and I feel the same. Anyway,
that's a great point. Yeah.
Anyway, so another red flag.
Uh-huh.
We are firing shots here.
That's okay. We've been guilty of all the red flags so far.
We haven't been guilty of this one though.
Oh, okay.
And this is a big one. Except I think we have talked about this one before.
Okay.
It's when you're more focused on your studio being better than your damn videos.
Ooh, that is a
zing-a-ling, baby.
That's a zinger. Man,
you gotta focus on the videos.
You definitely do. I was trying to find a way to fire that at myself, but the most work I've put into a studio is getting a light.
Dude,
and a lamp.
There's literally a desk over here with 3 legs.
Oh yeah, that too.
If I put this coffee cup on that corner, it would tip over and the candle would burn your house down.
Dude, that's a good one. And it's scary because at least in the beginning, I don't think this is the case anymore, but in the beginning, if you had a really good looking studio setup, it made you instantly seem so much more credible. Mm-hmm. Like you would just want to believe what the person was saying just because they had like a good looking studio setup.
Yeah.
But anymore, like it's almost, it's a red flag because now like the more interesting videos don't value that. And so it's a perfect red flag because when the studio just looks way too good and perfect, it's just like, spend too much time on that and not enough time on.
Well, you'll disagree with me here, but I think it goes in the inverse as well. I think you can underdo it so hard that it becomes cliche as well. My friend Casey Neistat is a perfect example of that. His early videos, I love Casey Neistat's early videos. Mm-hmm. It feels like real life. It feels like this true, authentic story that's unfolding before you. And then in the era where we move into the thing where everyone's got stupid claymation attached to it, and he's got construction paper labeling his stupid street signs that he stole from West Elm Street and all this stuff, it's like, all right, buddy, let's reel it in.
Every time you go off on Casey Neistat,
I was like, I'm losing Jake here.
2 feelings pop up. One, like, I just kind of sit back and like, oh, this is going to be entertaining. This is going to have some hot takes. And then 2, I go, I hope everyone listening knows I don't agree with shit. I'm always just like, don't lump me in with this. Don't lump me in with this. Because, God, he's just like, He's untouchable to me. You may as well just be telling me that Michael Jordan sucked at basketball. Like, that's what you may as well be doing right now.
That is so not the same thing. So not the same thing. I feel like I'm going to start getting heated up and start talking about Casey Neistat.
We don't even need to dive into that. I'll let you. I just like that. To me, his studio isn't overdone. It's just the product of a lot of time in that space, you know, like
I guess.
all the old.
I think it's tacky as hell.
Do you really?
Yeah.
Oh, I think it's so sick. It's just like, so there, this is going to win you over a little bit.
Okay.
There was an interview with, I'm pretty sure it was with Van, and someone was asking, like, why do you, Van, and Casey, why do you, like, organize stuff so much and label everything and write your name on stuff? And Van's answer was, like, our childhood was so chaotic and we were, like, all over the place. There was no stability, nothing, that made them really attached to, like, organizing and labeling and having, like, everything have its place. And I just thought that was the most, like, I don't know, wholesome answer ever. And it's sick that both of them have that propensity. But you gave me a real skeptical look.
I'm not going to say it won me over the fact that they like to organize things and it still looks like absolute garbage.
Man, I love it so much.
I don't know. I mean, again, you know what it feels like to me? I got
What?
a really, really good way of describing it.
Ooh, okay.
To me, it feels exactly like when you go into an Applebee's and they got all the fake antiques that are just lining the walls completely, and you're just like, it builds an atmosphere, but there are plenty of other atmospheres that work so much better and feel so much less. I don't even know what to say other than just gross.
That's fair. Applebee's feels gross.
Yeah.
But how about this equal but opposite analogy?
All right.
It's like a sleeve of patchwork bad tattoos.
Yeah.
Like when people have the separated sleeve of patchwork tattoos, but they're all like bad.
Which is what Casey has. And I will say I do like Casey Neistat's tattoos. I think they're pretty cool.
Yeah, like or just doodles.
Yeah.
Like one bad doodle by itself looks really bad, but then when you have this massive sheet or a whole wall just covered in bad doodles, it looks really sick altogether.
Yeah, I mean, possibly. There's also a part of this that I feel like is my own. I've had to grow out of a phase of not being able to let go of anything. I feel like I was a hoarder in training. And now I have this like physical, like, when people have that much stuff that never get touched. Casey Neistat's office has stuff that he hasn't touched. I can't imagine the dust in that place.
Yeah.
And that to me, I'm just like, let's do something else. Let's just get rid of the whole wall full of oversized crayons.
Yeah.
and let's move the elephant statue maybe to the garbage and let's put a couch there.
Yeah.
There's a restaurant in Crested Beauty, I'm sure you've eaten that, called Secret Stash. They got the same Applebee's style thing, but
it
it's more authentic because they went, like the family went and traveled and collected all these things. But if you stop and look at the dust and then look at your food, it's just, you know.
Okay, the dust point is valid, but at least it's a film studio, not a restaurant.
I mean, you got me there.
Okay, I'll accept that red flag. I don't agree with the.
Yeah, I would. Oh no, never mind. I was gonna say I'd rather have that than the super fancy, nice.
Yeah, see, I would
overthought
rather
studio.
a place like look bad because it has a bunch of
history. I think
and
I
old
agree with
things.
that. I think I agree with that.
More so than
it's still one tier above the hyper
like,
sterile.
I bought all of the right LEDs and perfectly curated this YouTube set, even though I don't know how to make videos. I would take the history over the newly curated perfect.
You know who's
set.
God, man, I'm just like, I'm all over the place. You know whose studio I actually think is a really good balance of that is Matty Hapoya's. I hate to say it.
Yeah.
He's got the
a
function.
sick space.
He's got the function going on.
Mm-hmm.
He's got the stuff, you know, it's
Yeah.
like there's definitely stuff that tells a story that he's
Yeah.
whatever got laying around.
And it seems like he's good at getting rid of stuff.
Yeah,
too.
exactly.
Yeah.
But it also doesn't feel like it's like. It also doesn't feel like it's like. I don't even know what the. It doesn't feel like the Toyota dealership of filmmaking.
Yeah.
Where it's like you walk in and there's like marble everywhere and like.
Yeah, fair. Yeah, his stuff's been looking good lately.
Yeah.
I got a red flag for you. This one's controversial because sometimes it's a red flag and sometimes it's not.
Okay.
But any cover or poster or thumbnail that has the wreaths on it, the Film Fest wreaths, you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I do know what you're talking
The
about.
reason being, those wreaths used to mean, oh, sick, this is a Sundance film.
Yeah.
It used to actually mean something.
Yeah.
Now those wreaths are on every single person who ever made a short film ever.
When I got the Music Bed Award, they sent me those PNGs.
You got the wreaths.
They sent me the PNGs to put on the thumbnail, and I was like, sorry.
Well, first of all, you should do it.
Why?
Well, dude,
because I have felt the same way about the wreaths. Yeah.
It's like, I can't think of a good analogy. It's just something that used to hold meaning, and now it has zero meaning.
Oh, hey, it's just kind of like a verification check mark on Twitter.
Wow, good analogy.
Yeah.
Wow, thanks for landing that one. Exactly. It's just like a Twitter or Instagram verification check. But the reason it came to mind, and this was so funny, was I was on YouTube and randomly got recommended a running short film with 360 views on it.
Let's go.
And the thumbnail said, or it had Vimeo staff pick on the thumbnail.
Sick.
And I didn't do any sort of fact checking or verification, but there is no chance in hell that this video was a Vimeo staff pick. Not the slightest chance.
Oh, no. Oh, dear.
Dude just decided, like, hey, everyone's
Manifest.
slapping these. I'm just calling this a Vimeo staff pick and putting it on YouTube.
More power to you, dude. That's
so
funny.
that just cemented my opinion that you can't
Dude, we're
trust
not making
those
any
regardless.
friends with this episode. Also, I can hear my mom being like, I didn't really understand what you were talking about a lot of the time.
Yeah,
sorry,
that's
Mom.
true.
This one's
We're kind of getting into
a little more.
getting into the weeds on this one.
This one's a little
we
more.
could talk about Jerry Springer. Your mom would know about Jerry
My
Springer.
mom loves Jerry. Actually, I don't know if she knows who he is either. Isn't he? I feel like my cultural connotational like idea of Jerry Springer is not positive. I don't feel like
sorry, I just went into another universe for a second because I was looking at my notes.
The Springer verse.
And so you're right. He was
Springularity.
He was a like trash TV guy. Like
You're not gonna give me any love on the springularity. Never mind.
Dude, I'm sorry, my brain. I didn't even hear what you were saying. Like you literally didn't exist for the last 10 seconds. I forgot where I was. I forgot what we were talking
All right,
about.
sorry to interrupt. But the funniest thing I've said of this entire podcast.
What did you say?
Well, you were like, I went into an entirely different universe. And never mind. I can't explain the joke. It was good.
Oh man.
Never mind.
Well, I can't wait to hear it when either
whatever.
me or you edits this.
It's tragic.
Oh man, I'm so sorry. I missed your joke.
That's okay.
Was it?
Don't worry about it, Jake. Just tell me
Jerry
about.
Springer.
Just close your eyes.
Wait, you really don't know? You don't know who Jerry Springer is?
I know he's like a talk show host. Isn't he like basically like
He was
Ned Jiminson's.
He was like one of the OG reality TV guys or like Judge Judy type shows.
Okay.
Where he just would have like domestic disputes and just have people like argue on his show, and it would inevitably end with someone admitting they cheated on someone.
Got it. He's a Dr. Phil.
Yeah,
Got
like
it.
super trashy Dr. Phil.
Got it. Okay.
Before Dr. Phil existed.
Okay.
And yeah, he just passed, and so because of that, This American Life did a episode about him.
Oh, interesting.
And he has this crazy backstory where he started as a politician and was just like loved by people in Ohio, like did a bunch of great things.
Yeah.
Like brought some good change in Ohio, and then
He was known for his Jerry tea. Dang it.
Shoot.
Shoot.
If your jokes earlier were on the same
No,
level
it
as
was
that
better. Oh, no. We're going to have to cut that. That was bad.
one- Did you mean Geriosity?
Why was that funny?
Oh, charity. I get it, like charity.
Yeah. But what you
Oh.
said was funny for some reason. I don't know.
Thanks.
Just carry on. Dang it.
Well,
Idiot.
so during his political days, he was doing good stuff, and then somehow got a prostitute, and instead of paying cash, he wrote a check to his prostitute, and that got found for some reason, and he just ended up being ridiculed for being the guy that wrote a check to a prostitute.
Oh, my gosh.
And
that was his ticket to fame.
Yeah, well, that kind of somehow led to his leave from politics. Like I think he was forced to leave politics,
sure.
and then did the Jerry Springer show for forever, and then eventually tried to return to politics, but he had just built the reputation that you and I have in our heads of him now, which is like, even if you don't know anything about him, you just know he had like a trashy TV show.
Right.
And all of that to say was, I just thought it was interesting, the idea of like, how far do you have to go to where you can't recover from like the image you've built?
Oh, yeah.
But now that I've shared...
After this podcast episode, we'll have a good idea.
Yeah.
We're talking crap about mental health and...
Oh, man. I've blacked out. I don't even remember what I've said, but hopefully...
Yeah, we talked trash about a therapy business
Oh, yeah.
earlier.
Oh, yeah, we did.
So, anyway.
We called out every trend on YouTube.
Yep, of everyone in
everyone
our own
does.
niche, yeah.
But we do them all, too.
I know, yeah.
We're calling
we're
out
good.
ourselves
yeah, exactly.
here.
Yeah.
So I brought all that up about Jerry Springer and realized it's like a huge thing to talk about, and we're already reaching the end of the road here on our time.
Oh, but I want to talk about Jerry more. Can we just say like 2 or 3 more things
Sure,
about Jerry
if you-
Springer?
Yeah, if you still want to talk about it.
We haven't said anything.
I just think
Jerry Springer, crazy guy. That's where we're at so far.
I'm sorry, I'm trying to be considerate of the people's time, but
So they love it. If they're here,
if they're
They're
here,
eating it
they're a
up.
real one. I just thought it was fascinating because I'm wondering, like, what part of his reputation was due to the fact that that was before the internet, before social media, where all you know about Jerry Springer is he has a TV show that is trashy.
yeah.
So if Jerry Springer existed today and his show was on YouTube, would it be different? You know, like,
Yeah.
could he go into politics? Or I don't know, like the parallel I was trying to think of was Filthy Frank becoming Joji.
Yeah.
Where, like, for me, I didn't even know Joji was Filthy
Yeah.
Frank until you told me.
Yeah.
So, like, is that just different now, where you can just kind of like restart at any point and do something new?
It's
and it
kind of
doesn't matter what
interesting
your
you bring
past
this up
was?
because I was talking to someone about how the digital version of yourself, and this is not a new idea, but the digital version of yourself is a separate person from you. Because there are people who I will know about online and I'll have this full opinion made about them, and then I'll meet them in real life and they will be oftentimes better than my assumptions about them based on the internet.
Yeah.
Now, that doesn't mean that Jerry Springer is a real great guy behind closed doors or anything. But that does mean is you, like, I feel like it's probably harder with a bigger reputation. But, man, Filthy Frank Joji, he made a full 180 completely.
Yeah. Yeah, and I can't think
And
of...
the guy is the same, but the
Hmm.
digital image of the guy is what's different.
Totally. Yeah, it's kind of... I don't know. It's like part terrifying, but it's also part just a great reminder that we shouldn't assume anyone's online presence is who they are.
Yeah.
Like,
for better or for worse.
yeah, for better or for worse. And just like, I don't care how like authentic you want to be on the internet. It's always an act
Yeah,
to
exactly.
some extent. It
Yeah.
doesn't matter even if your thing is like, I'm just real, I'm just me on the internet. Like,
Yeah,
that's
that's a
still
thing.
an act.
Yeah, that's a thing,
Like
yeah.
like that's your shtick.
Dude, let me tell you another story of a crazy transformation in that sense, right?
Okay.
There was this guy, okay?
Mhm.
He was big, famous. A lot of people liked him. He was controversial, sure. A lot of people liked him.
Goddamn, I know where this is
No,
going.
you don't.
Oh, okay.
You don't. And he was on this little movie. He was extra on this little movie.
Okay.
Jake's favorite movie,
What's my favorite movie?
Home Alone.
Oh yeah. Oh.
He was on Home Alone.
Oh,
People
no.
ate it up.
Oh no.
Fast forward a couple years, causes an insurrection at the Capitol building.
Wow. I did not see that coming. Yeah. That extra in Home Alone 2 where he walks past Kevin.
Yeah,
That guy.
everyone loves him.
Yeah.
Now he's kind of a controversial figure.
They even loved him up through his
People
reality
change.
TV days.
Yeah, yeah.
Then suddenly starts riots.
So you just never
You
know.
just never know. That's a good point.
That's the most political thing we'll ever talk about on this show, probably.
Probably. Dude, Home Alone 1 and 2 are my favorite movies of all time.
I know. I just
Oh
told
yeah,
you
you
that.
just said that. Sometimes I forget until it's brought up. But
Never mind.
this is why we don't record past 1 hour. I start losing the plot. But it's crazy because when I was writing my notes, I was like, this is way too many things. I have so many things in my mind.
Yeah.
But we hit all of them.
Dang.
We hit everything. We even got to Jerry Springer.
Yep.
We got to red flags,
Yep.
where I've been and why I'm leaving YouTube videos.
Yep.
We did it.
We did it.
Do you-
Another episode in the bag, full of value adds for our dedicated listeners.
I feel like maybe more than any episode we've done before, this might be important.
Uh-huh.
Do you have any apologies you'd like to make?
I'm sorry for everybody that subscribes to BetterHelp and has a therapist that has changed their life.
Yeah. Me too.
I'm sorry, I don't have the right to tell you. That's a bad thing.
Just
It's
because
not. It's the business, okay?
Yeah.
I'm not sorry to BetterHelp because I think y'all are in dangerous territory and you're not treading lightly. I'm sorry.
Yeah, just because I think text message therapy wouldn't work for me, I'm genuinely stoked if it works for you.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
Sorry
exactly.
for that silly
Sorry
comment.
for that. Yeah, I'm sorry. I don't know why. I just feel like I need to say sorry to Danny Gevirtz. I don't think I said anything. Did I say anything bad about him? Why do
that
I
was
feel
hard to swallow.
guilty?
I don't know why you feel guilty because we just like gave him mad respect
Yeah.
for 15 minutes. I don't think you have anything to be sorry to
Okay.
Danny Gevirtz for,
All right.
other than I don't know, fabricating beef in the past that we were joking about.
Oh
But
yeah, you didn't ask him to fight, did you?
yeah, no, I didn't.
Oh.
It turns out, you're not going to believe this. It turns out he's a really nice guy.
Wow.
I couldn't believe it. I thought for
Dang.
sure we would be
thought
fighting
that was
by
just
the end
his
of the
curated-
night. I
yeah,
know.
yeah.
I thought the boxing match would happen, but
He made a video. He's like, He made a video recently that's like whatever, like top 10 tips for whatever, and then one of them for being a filmmaker, and one of them was be kind, and I was like, all right, bud, sure, you're Mr. Nice Guy, aren't you? You've just never been mad at anyone, have you?
Turns out he's the actual nicest guy ever.
Screw him.
Yeah. Okay, now you can make your apology.
Yeah, you gotta figure out something to say sorry for. He's like, just be kind, just be like me. What would Danny do? Just ask yourself that. I'm the nicest guy. Gotcha. Now I'm sorry to Danny Gevirtz because I roasted him for being nice.
There you go. There you go. Good work.
Sorry. No, I'm not. Never mind. Sorry to you, Jake. I just always feel like I owe you an apology.
Thanks.
Sorry, I'm your co-host. I try not to be.
You try not to. Oh, man. I'm sorry that within 10 minutes of you being here, I got you buying fingerboard wheels.
Yeah, I kind of needed an apology for that. You have some sort of... You like know me way too well, dude. You're like, they're thicker than the ones you have. They're softer than the ones you have.
It'll look like a T-Funk board if you get them.
That was what got me. Okay.
I'm sorry to anyone that's made of where I've been and why I'm leaving YouTube video.
Yeah, so that's to both of us.
Yeah, that's true. That's to ourselves.
Not sorry to the people who said big stuff is coming. Don't do that. Ever.
Don't do that.
Don't have the first... last one.
Yeah, okay.
When the first video on your channel, you say what you're going to be posting.
Wow. That's a good red flag.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It means you're not posting anything.
Exactly.
My final piece of advice is filmmakers do make films. It's not just an Instagram bio. You do have to go make stuff.
Dang, that one hits hard.
Yeah, it's hit me hard many a times. It's hit everyone hard.
Yeah.
You're not planning it. If you're not working on it, you're not working on it. Zing. Go grab your camera and film.
Wait, are we
Go
still
grab
doing...
a camera and film the strawberry plants.
Are we doing red flags or are we doing apologies?
I'm just freaking out right now.
Oh, I got my final apology.
Okay.
I'm sorry that this podcast is over an hour and 15 minutes and I've lost the plot.
Yeah, and we keep talking.
Amen.
If you don't like this music, you don't be listening to it. You know, I'm just a dude that you know, or something similar. If you don't keep it real, then you go somewhere but here, cause you know we're only losing control just for a minute. Oh.